welcome to Sinful Gaming. Hope you're all doing well, hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today we have a 2,000 point battle report for you between my brand new Wanderers Living Cities of Sigmar army, or the Knothi, and some Maggotkin of Nurgle. Now, I will warn you before watching this video, we did record this at the local game store during our games night, so there may be a bit of background noise. So potentially maybe turn your sound down a little bit and turn up as you get into the battle report. It does seem alright, but it is what it is. Hope you enjoy it nonetheless. If this is something you'd like to see more of, we were umming and ahhing whether we were going to record in the game store. If it's fine by you and you'd like to see more of like all my games that are playing in the game store, let us know in the comments below. Let us know what you thought. But it was a ton of fun. Let's get into the battle. 2,000 points, Cities of Sigmar versus Maggotkin of Nurgle. We are playing Places of Arcane Power. And so this is our Wanderers army. We have our Nomad Prince, who is our general. You can see here we're using the Score the Falconer model, the model with all the birds on it. You're going to have the Druid of the Everspring command trait. This allows him to cast a spell as if he were a wizard, and the spell he's going to have that he can choose from lore is Iron Oak Skin. We're then going to have an Anvil of Apotheosis hero. Next to him, we're using the old Eltharion, the blind model for this. We just built him up to pretty much be exactly like a Nomad Prince, just with a damaged weapon. I guess the Great Sword, and he's got +1 rend, +1 damage, +1 attack onto the Anvil hero. We then got a Tree Lord Ancient with the Wardroth Horn and the Life Surge spell, and then a Spirit of Durthu with the Spirit of the Hunt, because we're going to have a second artifact because we've got a battalion. The rest of our army is made up, as mentioned, of the Viridian Pathfinders Battalion. We've got 2 units of 20 Wildwood Rangers, a unit of 10 Wildwood Rangers, and a unit of 10 Wild Riders. We've then got 10 Eternal Guard to fill out the army, and we come in at exactly 2,000 points. And versing us today, we are playing the Maggotkin of Nurgle. So, what do they have in the army? Well, they've got the Glotkin and a Great Unclean One, who is the general. He's got a Tome of 1,000 Poxes, Grandfather's Blessing, and Plague Wind as his spell. We've then got a Glotkin who has Blades of Putrefaction, and then we've got a Lord of Blights, which is part of a Blightsist battalion with 3 units of Blight Kings, which has the Pharogenesis spell thanks to the Mudder Grub artifact. Then got a unit of 30 Plague Bearers and a unit of 40 Plague Monks, rounding out the army. Alright, so deployment is done. We've got the Tree Lord Ancient down, Eternal Guard in front, Wild Riders and Wildwood Rangers. And then off the table we've got 2 units of 20 Wood Wild Rangers, Nomad Prince and Durthu. We've also got our little adjutant here as well. Across the table we have the Great Unclean One surrounded by the Plague Bearers, 3 units of 5 Black Kings, and the Lord of Blights, the Plague Monks, and Glotkin over at the back. So, Nurgle, gets picked first turn. Who's going to have first turn, man?
Yeah, I'll take the first turn.
Cool. Nurgle, turn 1. Alright, start of the turn, we're just working out the contagion points. He goes up to 5. He's got units in his own territory. Tree got an extra D3, which only got 1. And then he's got no enemy units in his territory for another 1. So 5. Going into magic. Alrighty, so Glotkin is going to try and cast Mystic Shield on the Plague Monks. Goes off. And then his other spell.
Yeah, Finish the Abundance on the 7.
Yeah, on the Plague Monks as well. Goes off. Cool. Both spells went off on the Plague Monks. And then we're going to use his command ability once per turn. Once per game, sorry. He can change it, so he's going to go to Unnatural Vitality, so it adds 2 to the movement to everything in his army. So he's now on the 1, going for the rest of the game. Alright, movement-wise, Plague Monks have moved up. The Glotkin, they're coming towards this objective down here. The Great Unclean One getting close to that center objective. And he's got his Plague Bearers and his Blight Kings around. So we just ran the Great Unclean One because we completely forgot, so he's going to be claiming the objective. Shooting, I don't think you're in range of him much, are you? We'll have a look. So that's the end of Nurgle's turn 1. He's going to gain 1 victory point. Alright, so start of my hero phase. Tree Lord Ancient is going to summon the Awakened Wildwoods here, so that's his once per game ability used. We're then going to try and use Awakening the Wood. So we're going to try and cast it. Goes... Ooh, doesn't go off. It's a 5. Alright, movement for the Wanderers. Tree Lord Ancient's moved across. We've got our Eternal Guard to stick him back. Wild Riders are coming forward, and we've just moved our Anvil of Apotheosis character here in the middle. Across there, they've run up, and then at the far end of the table, Nomad Prince and our unit of 20 Wildwood Rangers has come onto the table there. So let's go into some shooting. Alright, Tree Lord Ancient is going to shoot his Doom Tendril Staff. We're going to go into the Great Unclean One. So 2 to hit. Hits. And And wounds, -1 on the Great Unclean one. Nope, reroll ones. 5 saves it, doesn't it? Yeah. Alright, into charges then. Wild Riders are going to charge. So they've got 6, 7, cool. And then we'll charge with the Tree Lord Ancient as well. 6, cool. So, start of the combat phase, he gets to use Ground Shake and Stomp. On a 4+, your Plague Bearers fight last. Nope, so they're fighting normal, but I still get to pick my first unit to fight. I'm going to go with the Wild Riders. And I'm going to use a command point from him to give them +1 to hit. Alright, Wild Riders attacking first, hitting on 2s. They missed twice. And then wounding on 4s. Their big downside. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've got 16 damage going straight through onto those Plague Bearers. 5 up after damage stage, so not getting an armor. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means you're going to take 12 damage. And the mounts, 3s to hit. And 4s to wound. 1, 2, 3. 3, 5 up, re-rolling ones, and then you're 5 up after damage save. Nope, but then you're 5 up after damage. 1, so you're 14 die in total. So the Plague Bearer is attacking back, 4s to hit.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And then 3s to wound. 4. 4 armor saves, 5 ups. Save 3. Take a wound. So, Tree Lord Ancient next. He's going to go into the Plague Bearers. He's within an inch of them, staying outside of 3 of the Guo. So, 3s to hit. All hit. And 3s to wound. 2 wounds, -2. So, no armor save. So, 2d6 damage. For 5. So 5 after damage saves. So 4 more die. Then his massive impaling talon hitting on a 3. Hits and wounds on a 2. Wounds, 1 more after death save. Saved it. So just another 4 die from him. Alright, so electing to spend the command point, he lost just way too many there. Because if he doesn't roll the 1 to get models back to the banner, they pretty much have a good chance of just all disappearing. So, spending a command point on Nurgle. So priority for turn 2, I got a 2. 5, you gonna take it? Cool. Nurgle, turn 2. Alright, so Great Unclean One's gonna try and cast Plague Wind. Goes off on an 8, 9. I'm gonna try and dispel with the Ancient. Stopped with an 11. So he's just rolling through his tree on a 4+, he kills a Wild Rider. Yep, so it's going to be that Wild Rider dead now. Cool. He's going to use Sumptuous Pestilence. 5 doesn't go, oh 6 just. Just. So he takes a mortal wound, and then they take D3. For 1, so both of them take 1 mortal wound. So he's going to use his Mudder Grub that allows him to cast Pharogenesis. Goes off. So you can move the wheel how you want. Cool. So he's choosing to move the wheel to Nauseous Revulsion. It took us so long to pronounce that. And then we got Maggotkin to cast his 2 spells, and that's it. So Blaze of Putrefaction on the Plague Monks. Goes off on an 8.
And Fleshy Abundance on the Plague Monks.
Yep.
Does not go off.
Cool, and so he's going to use Plague of Flyers on the Great Unclean One, pretty much giving him the Plague Bearer rule. Cool. For a command point. Cool. Movement, we'll come back after it's all done. Cool, so Noxious Bile from the Great Unclean One onto the Ancient, D6 attacks. For 2.
Hits on. Hits on 3.
Hits on a 3. 1 hit. Wounds.
Hasn't actually something.
Yeah. And a 2+ to wounds. Wounds. Rends.
Ren 2, damage 1.
Cool. So 3, 4, 5. Failed, so take a wound. So Thrice Ripened Deathhead from him into the Wild Riders. 3's to hit. Hits. Wounds. Negative more than 2, I guess.
Ren 3, D3 damage.
So D3 damage. For 1. Kills a Wild Rider. So all these Blight Kings, these 10, throwing into the Wild Riders. 4's to hit, yeah?
Yep. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep, statistically average. And 3's. So 4. Negative. No Ren, so 5 up saves. Take 3. Alright, Black Kings are going to charge. 6. Awesome. So, start of the combat phase. Black Kings have charged like that. Ground shaking stomp from the Tree Lord. Doesn't go off. And I'm pretty sure we're going to be out of range to do it on those Plague Bearers. Yep, and we're just out of range on the Great Unclean One, as we already know. So, combat, who are you fighting with first?
Yeah.
Black Kings?
Yeah, Black Kings.
Cool. So, start the combat phase using a command point on him. Reroll ones to save as well. So, Black Kings, 3's to hit. One explodes.
Oh, sorry, that was 1.
So explodes into how many cocks? Go again. 3, so you get 2 more dice in the pile.
Cool.
And 3's to wound you?
Yep.
Uh,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 at 1.
Cool. So these are 4 up re-rolling ones. Reroll. Save, so take a wound. Wild Riders into the Plague Bearers. 3's to hit, not 2's anymore. But they still only missed twice. And 4's to wound. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 6 up save on the Plague Bearers. Re-rolling ones. So that passes, and you can re-roll them. And then you're 5 up after death save on them. Just damage 1 now. So 4 dice so far. So the mounts for the Wild Riders, 4's to hit. And 4's to wounds. 1.
Any red on that?
1 armor save, no rends. 5 up, no, and then a 5 up after that. No, so 1 more, so 5 die in total. So Plague Bearers fighting back. 4's to hit. That's not bad. Yeah, only 1 miss. And 3's to wound, yeah?
Yep.
Nice, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 ups. Failed all of them. Ouch. So Tree Lord back into the Black Kings. 3's to hit. 1 hit. And 3's to wounds. 1 wounds, negative 2.
So 6 up. This is 1.
Yep. And D6 for 3. And then the Impaling Talon hits on a 3, wanting that 6 though. Nut hits. Wounds, 1 more at negative 2.
6 up.
1 more.
1?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 1 more.
So the Wild Riders lose D6 minus 3. We rolled a 3, we're fine. Plague Bearers, you've got 1 command point left. You're going to use it? So Plague Bearers can only lose 1 on a 6. No, so they're fine. Lost 5, so they are fine. Alright, Tree Lord Ancient, he's starting my hero phase, he heals a wound. Just all my models with multiple wounds heal one. And then he's going to try and cast Awakening the Wood on this. Goes off on a 7. You can try and dispel it if you want. Stops. Cool. End of the movement phase. Durthu and the Rangers come on down on the bottom flank here. Eternal Guard and the character in the center here just sort of moved around. Rangers over there and the Nomad Prince taking the objective. So let's go into some shooting. So Doom Tendril Staff into the Black Kings. Hits. And a 3 to wounds. Wounds, -1.
Just one attack?
Yeah. No, for D6 damage. For 5. So Durthu's going to shoot his Verdant Blast into the Plague Monks. 6 attacks, 4's to hit. Hits 3 times. 3's to wounds. 2, -1, so you get no armor save. So 2d3 for 3. So spent a command point. Durthu has then moved after his shot with the strike and fade away, but not fading away. He's now on the objective as well. So that's it for movement. Onto and shooting onto charges. So we're going to charge with the Wildwood Rangers first. That's a 7. They're going to land it because they get +1 for the battalion and +1 for their banner, so that hits the 9. And Durthu's going to charge. Hits a 4, so he's going to get in as well. Pile them in like that. So start with ground shaking stomps. In the combat phase, Durthu gets it as well. So on your Plague Monks, they are fighting last. And then him into your Black Kings, they are not fighting last. So Durthu goes first though, because he always strikes first when he charges. Alright, so Durthu, let's see, hits 4 times. Is it 6 to hit or 6 to wound? Cool. So 4 hits and 2's to wound. 3, so no 6s, that is just 18 dead. So Durthu's 2 attacks with his Impaling Talons into them. So hits once and just kills another one. So if you remove one of them, you're going to get to roll a dice. So the Wildwood Rangers, all of them are in range, so they've got a 2-inch reach. They're going into the Plague Monks. 3's to hit. And then 3's to wound. However, all those Plague Monks that just died, got to roll 6s, mortal wounds back. I mean, that's not bad. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So Black Kings now, your first pick into the Tree Lord Ancient.
3s and 3s. So is that 1, 2, 3? Sorry, that was a 6.
Yeah. So those miss. So roll a d6. No. This sums up your rolling so far, I think. 3 so to wound. There's 2 6s on that. So 4. 4 at -1. So 4 up save. Fair 1. That's the second time. Alright, Wild Riders attacking, so we are 3's to hit. And 4's to wound. So 5 at -1, damage 1.
So 6.
6 up.
5?
Yep. Re-roll that 1 though.
No, yeah. Oh, it's 2 then.
Oh, 2 1, yeah.
Yes, 3. Yeah, so 3.
So then you're 5 up.
Sorry.
Death save?
So how many was that?
3.
3, yeah.
3, 5 up after death save. Pass them all. Wow. The mounts, 4's to hit. Nah. And 4's to wound. 3. No rend, so 5 up saves. 3 of them. Reroll 1s. No. And then all 5 up after damage saves. So 2 die. That's pretty decent though, you made a ton of saves then. So Plague Bearer's going back in, 4's to hit. Not bad. And 3s. 2. So 2 5-ups. Saved 1, so I take a wound. Tree Lord Ancient attacking those Black Kings. 3s. He's got +1 attack because the Wardrough one, sorry. So 3 hit. And 3 wounds, -1. So 3d6 damage. For 9, 10, 11, 12. Right, 12 attacks from those Plague Monks. So 6s are good. We'll just take, that's a 6, so you got 1. So that's a mortal wound, and it does an extra. And then wounding on 4, so I've got a mortal wound already, but these are all wounds. So this many. 3 up armor saves. Failed 4, so I take 5. Alright, so not spending a command point, Plague Monks just disappear. Lose a Wildwood Ranger on a 6. No, fine. And your Plague Bearers do have to take 1. They can't lose any, but if you roll a 1...
we'll get 6 back.
No. That will be that. Priority. And I'm going to gain 2 victory points. So, priority turn 3. Got a 1. I can't win it no matter what. So, Nurgle turn 3. So, Glotkin, Fleshy Abundance on himself. Fails to cast. Mystic Shield on himself. Reroll save rolls a 1. Goes off.
Cool. And he's going to use his ability.
So, yep.
Takes a wound. Is that a wound?
Nah, that's nothing.
Yeah.
That was the wound on the Black Kings.
So it's on 5 now.
I'm going to try and dispel it. The Ancient. Dispelled.
Yeah. Right.
So, D3 Mortals from Rampant Disease. For 2. The Eternal Guard. For 1. And the Wild Riders. For 2. So, movement will finish. Glotkin's in combat, so he can't move. Great Unclean One just moves up as best he can, and the Black Kings start trundling over to the flank to confront the Rangers. With that, though, that's movement. Shooting. Great Unclean One shooting the Tree Lord Ancient. D6. For 5. Alright, 3s to hit. 1 miss, and 2s to wound. 3. -1, yeah?
Just want to check. I'm pretty sure you're right.
Ren 2, so these are 5-ups. Save 2 of them.
1 damage.
Cool, takes the wounds. So Thrice Rotten Death Head from him into the Ancient.
3s and 3. 3s and 3s.
Misses anyway. Cool. Yep, the 10 Death Heads into the unit of 10 Wildwood Rangers. 4s to hit. 2 hits. And 3s. 1. Rens. No Rens, so 5 up. Failed. So 1 Ranger dies. Yep, Glotkin shooting into the Ancient. Dirty. Misses. So Great Unclean One. Anything but a double 1. 6, so yeah, he literally just goes. Bam. Cool. Black Kings here into the Rangers. 8. So, ground checking stomps. Dirthy's going to try and stomp the Glotkin. He does. Glotkin is fighting last. And then he's going to ground shaking stomp the Unclean One. Isn't. So, you get to pick. I've got no way strikes first because I haven't charged this turn. So, the Great Unclean One going into the Ancient first.
3 attacks, 3s and 3s.
Yep. 2 hits. No wounds. The bell.
2. And 2. Yeah, so
Ren 1, so 4 ups. Saved 1, damage. 1, cool, takes a wound. Yeah, and lastly, his host of Nurglings.
5s and 5s.
Nothing. Cool. So, Wildwood Rangers over here into the Black Kings. 3s to hit. And 3s. So 10 armor saves, -1. So 5 up saves, yeah? He passed 1, 2, so 8 damage. Oh, 3, so 7. So he doesn't want to pile in his Plague Bearers, he wants to keep as many of my Wild Riders out of combat, so he's just piled in the leader, because I'm going to get there anyway. So 4s, both hit. 1 wound. 5 up. Saved. So I'll go the Wild Riders next. So 1 Wild Rider into the Plague Bearers. 3. And 4s. 1 at -1.
So 1 5 up. And 1
5 up. Yep. And the mount, 4s, nothing. And then we got 5 attacks into the Great Unclean One. 4. And 1 at -1 into the Great Unclean One.
1 5 up.
And then 5 up. Saved. And the 2 mounts. 4s. And 4s. 1 no rend. Saved. Then it's your Black Kings. So the Black Kings into the Wildwood Rangers.
3s.
Well, there's a lot of 6s. There's 3 6s there.
Keep them.
They miss and the rest hit. 6s, roll them all. And they turn into 3d6. Oh, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then 3s. Wow, that is not a great roll. So 6 up saves. And then I saved 1, so I lose 5. So the Ancient into the Great Unclean One then. Needing 4, all hit. And wow, all wounds, so 3 at -1.
So 3 ups.
2, so 2d6 damage. For 9.
And
5 ups. Wow, oh wow, that's good. Only take 4. The Impaling Talon misses. So that's that. Eternal Guard going 2-inch reach, so the spears are in, so 4s, 3s. And 4s to wound. So 3 no rend on the Great Unclean One. Failed 1, 5 up. Takes another. So Wildwood Rangers into the Block-in, 3s. And 3s. So rend 1, so his armor save. So 5 up. These are damage 2 from the Rangers. Come on, kill a monster, Rangers. Do your job. Oh, that's not good. So yeah, Glotkin is dead. They killed him outright. Ouch. So Battle Shock. These Wildwood Rangers need to make a Battle Shock test. They lost 6, so they are Bravery 5. So Battle Shock test lost 3. It's just a banner. I'm remaining alive there. Black Kings are fine. Wild Riders only lost 1, so they don't care either. Because they got the banner, so that makes them 8. Eternal Guard didn't lose anything, and that's all fine over there. So going into the Wanderers, turn 3. So start the hero phase. Both Tree Lords and the Wild Rider with a wound all heal a wound, and then he's going to try and cast Regenesis. Goes off on a 9. You can try and dispel it. He's going to gain D6 wounds back if you don't. Goes off, so D6 wounds back for 2. So down to 4. He's then going to cast his spell on them. They're going to be -1 to wound if he gets it off, which he does on a 9. Grand Unclean One's going to try and dispel, so no. So you're -1 to wound that unit of Rangers. Yeah. Alright, movement's done. Dirthy's moved over here, still in range of the objective, but he is in range to shoot the Unclean One now. Rangers over here ran, just trying to get to be able to, affect the battle now. These ones over here moved, they're getting ready for a charge. and that's pretty much it for our movement. So we're going to go into charges. No, shooting first. So 6 shots with Dirthu into the Great Unclean one, 4s to hit. And 3s to wounds. 2 at -1.
2 5-ups.
So 1 turns into D3 for 3. So take 2.
7.
True Lord Ancient's going to shoot as well. Hits. Wounds, -1. D6 damage from the Doom Central Staff for 1. So takes another. Alright, charges. Wildwood Rangers here are going to charge 12 inch. Alright, so charges, they made it in like that, all of them nice and in. Ground checking stomp, going to go on the Great Unclean one. Goes off, he's fighting last. So which means I'm going to go to unit Wildwood Rangers first then. Alright, so the Rangers, here we go, 3s to hit. And 3s to wound. And 5-up save. Well, that's not bad. Rangers have wiped them out, so that means you've only got your Plague Bearers to go with now.
Yeah.
Yep, 3 attacks from the champ and the other dude fighting. 2 hit, 1 hit. No wounds. Then everything into the Unclean one. 1 Wild Rider into them. 1 hit. No wounds. And the mount. 1 hit. 1 wounds. Fuck. No. No. Reroll 1s. Yep. And so 5-up after damage save. No. So 1 dies. Gets his teeth kicked in by some horse. So Wild Riders. And 4s for 3 into your Great Unclean one at -1.
3?
Yep, -1. So all fail, and then 5-ups. All fails, so takes another 3. That's 10, isn't he?
That's 12, so...
So now the mounts. 4s. And 4s. 2. No rend on these. +1. No, so another 1. Eternal Guard now, 3s to hit. And 4s to wound. 7 armor saves, no rend, damage 1. Remember, he's got 3 wounds remaining on the Great Unclean one. So 5, 4. Fail all of these, please. Oh, he's on 1. Ancient going. 3 attacks. Only hits once. Doesn't wound. Impaling Talon. Hits. Wounds. So -1. -2, sorry, from the Impaling Talon.
So
6 up. And yes. And then 5-up. No. Got him with the Impaling Talon. And at that point, he's just not got the heroes on the table to even stack. Because even if he gets that there, that's all you've got left. I've got so many points coming in now that I'm just going to win it. Good game, man.
Good, mate. Thanks for that.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And also, while you're at it, why don't you come join our Discord server? You can chat to me and other members of our fine little community here at Cineful Gaming. You can do so by following the link to our Discord server, which is in the description of the video. Lastly, I'd like to give a shout out to everyone who helps support the channel financially via Patreon and YouTube members. Thank you to our Patreon supporters Christian Weir, James Soren, Chaos Spawn, AJC, Kenny Lowell, Alder and Shot First, James Crowder, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, Tim Newman and The Rising Ape. And thank you to our YouTube members Green Roots Gaming and Fire Titan. Thank you all for supporting the channel, and if you'd like to help support the channel like these fine people do, you can do so by clicking one of the links down to either our Patreon or our YouTube members in the description of the video as well. Thank you all for watching, everyone, though. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.